Dean Legge here, wrapping up Georgia's third day here in Southern California today. Their second practice that's open to the media. The Bulldogs at StubHub Center again today. Really, a lot of the attention's on Oklahoma, but today Georgia's defense went this morning, and I do want to talk about something that I saw at practice today, and then I'm going to roll something that Mel Tucker said. When you watch the defense dealing with Stetson Bennett today, Stetson Bennett's the fourth-string quarterback. He's a walk-on. He is playing Baker Mayfield this week. You could see what they were doing. They were rushing to a point. They were staying in their lanes, and that's something that Mel Tucker talked about today.
It is very difficult. We always preach coordinated pass rush, making sure that we have level rush on the edges and good balanced pocket push in the middle to try to keep the quarterback in the pocket, and all of the coverages and the pressures that we have, and that's discipline. But we also have to be aggressive in doing that.
So Mel was pretty adamant there that this defense, Jonathan Ledbetter, Lorenzo Carter, Roquan Smith, Davin Bellamy, you know the names, that they need to stay in their lanes. And here's something that here's a cut from today as well. This is going to be one of the players talking again about how they focus on what they need to focus on. This has been a rallying cry. I'm not going to steal their thunder. They're going to go ahead and say it for me.
We've been kind of keeping the main thing. Kirby always prides himself on that, and we just kind of practice it every day. Just keep the main thing. One day at a time. You practice. You prepare, you go home, you wake up the next day, you do it again, and then by the time you know it, you're at the game and you're ready to play.
Dylan Weber joins me again. Dylan, you were at the Oklahoma practice today. There was a lot to see there. Well, tell us what there was to see. Baker Mayfield.
Well, yeah, no one in the media was really watching anything else except Baker Mayfield. He didn't really do a whole lot. He did sit out a few reps on the second drill that they were doing, which was a little interesting. Kyler Murray kind of filled in for him, and no one's really seen him or talked to him a lot. And we got really our first good look. It wasn't much, but he walked over to talk to some trainers, and he didn't look like he's dying out there, but he doesn't look like he's fully healthy, I'll say.
Yeah, it's curious because, the media obligations, we've got some friends out here now, and they were asking, why does that matter? And my point was, Disney is paying dozens of millions of dollars to broadcast this game. They want to hype it up as much as they can. And for Baker Mayfield, the Heisman Trophy winner, the most important player in college football, to miss us is no big deal, but to miss ESPN, etc., that is a big deal.
I think, right, it is a big deal right now, but if he misses tomorrow when it's an all-team open media or open accessibility to him, that will be a little weird. That will be just...
I'll tell you right now, and I sort of don't expect him to be there tomorrow, just because if he doesn't go tomorrow, if he legitimately is ill, and you say he looked ill, why would you stick him out there for the rest of the team to get sick? Why would you do that? And even if he's not sick, at this point, you're kind of all in, all the chips are on the table. He's not talked to anyone yet. Why would you start now?
You wouldn't. You don't go to Disneyland. You don't go to the first offensive availability. I think they would just continue with the trend. Say, oh, he's sick. He can't do this. It's unhealthy for the media and the team.
They don't care about us, I can assure you. I don't know why everybody thinks there's always a toxic relationship between the media and the college football teams they cover. That's not always the case. It is. Tomorrow will be every single player on the roster for both of these teams. So every kid that's walked on at Georgia, there will be 6 podiums. Kirby Smart will talk tomorrow as well. And then the day after will be Kirby and Lincoln Riley. And the day after that will be the Rose Bowl game. Are we making too much of the Baker thing?
I think probably at the end of the day a little bit. I think everyone's just kind of looking for something.
Well, they're giving it to him.
A little bit. They just want something to look for that will slow him down, because he's just been so terrific this year, and you want just anything that will help you out, and well, this is something.
Well, it's a curious thing, and if it's not a big deal, fine. If it is a big deal, fine. But to not have availability. I mean, Georgia's gone the entire year with one exception of allowing Jake Fromm to speak to the media. So it is an odd thing that the most visible player in college football right now would not be available because he's sick, and not because he's been a bad kid or anything like that. It's because he's ill. If he's ill, that matters. And I'll leave it here. The line has started pushing even a little bit further towards Georgia. We'll see if this is Georgia being a 3-point favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be the case. Is that because Baker Mayfield has been a little bit sick? I don't know. But stay tuned to Dog Post. We'll have even more. What do we have tomorrow? What do you think you'll write about? Stay tuned to Dog Post. This is the sort of riveting information you get. We'll have stories about Jonathan Ledbetter, Lorenzo Carter, Stetson Bennett of all people, probably a Jake Fromm. See? That's how pros do it, Dylan. Dean Legge wrapping up here from Los Angeles, California.